Hello friends, welcome back to my channel SS English Learning Center. Today I have come up with a story. The title of the story is The Encounter. It is said that when we go by the law that every action has an equal and opposite reaction, then we might have to believe that there exists some negative energy to balance the positive energy around us. Most of us would have heard of terrifying ghost stories from someone at some point of time, but at times it becomes hard to believe such stories until and unless one encounters such incidents in real life. The story deals in the same situation. There was a 9-year-old charming, bubbly and cute girl called Ruku living in Gurgaon, Haryana. She was intelligent, active and more matured than other girls of her age. She was the youngest in the family, so she was quite pampered. Her elder brother was working in an office at Gurgaon itself. Her mother was a housemaker. Her father was working in a government job and used to travel a lot due to his postings at different places. Ruku loved his transferable job as she enjoyed different remote places, its culture and traditions. One day she was playing piano and no one was at home during that day. The mother had gone out to buy some fruits and vegetables and her father and brother had gone to their office. She was all alone by herself at home. So to kill her boredom, she started playing the tune of 100 Miles. At that time, someone knocked at the door. She opened the wooden door, but the second door was with the front net. She looked at the man with big red eyes, wrinkled face, thin skin, and wearing a lot of colorful necklaces made of beads, having a beard and long unkempt hair. He was smoking a chillum. She did not like the scary face, and before she could ask him the purpose of coming, he left the place, murmuring some words she could not understand. She shut the door. She got disturbed and started thinking about him. When, after an hour, her mother returned, she told her about that man. Her mother panicked and instructed her not to open the door when she is alone. With time, she forgot this incident. After a few months, she came to know that they would be shifting to Jharkhand as her father got the news of new posting. They packed the stuff and 3 of them were ready to move. The brother was supposed to stay back as it was his new job. They reserved the first class coach of the train and boarded the train on the due date. She sat near the window and enjoyed the open green fields outside on the way. As the night approached, nothing was visible except some road lights passing by. She felt sleepy, so after having her dinner, she shifted to the upper berth and her mother and father were at the lower berth. In that compartment, there was no other person. Suddenly, around midnight, the light went off and the compartment was full of darkness. The train was running at full speed. It started drizzling with light thunderstorms outside. The train was passing through the jungle. She kept on sleeping, but after some minutes, she felt as if someone was tickling her. She felt the coldness in the warm night. When a ray of light passed through the open window, she noticed a strange-looking face near her berth. But in the second moment, no one was there. The tickling kept on for 2-3 hours, but as it was 4 a.m. in the morning, she saw no one. She was a brave girl, hence she did not utter a single word regarding this to her mother, as she believed in supernatural things. In the evening, they reached their destination. They got down and hired a taxi and went to a hotel, as to government quarter given to them needed a whitewash. So for 2 days they stayed in a hotel. They enjoyed the weather and the greenery over there. On the third day, they entered in the government quarter, which was at the end of the lane. Leading ahead was a deep forest area. It had lot of greenery around with huge trees, gulmohar, neem, laburnum, blooming with red and yellow flowers. Everyone loved that peaceful and calm area. They started arranging their things in their room. Out of 5 rooms, 4 were used as the 5th room facing the forest was having broken furniture, some old suitcases, a toolbox and few old toys dumped in. So the 4 rooms were sufficient for them. They settled down soon and her father joined his office after a week. There was no one nearby as the next 2 houses were vacant. One day, Ruku opened the 5th room out of curiosity, just to see what was lying there. She found a red old ball there. She liked it and brought it along with her. She played with it and at night after dinner she hid the ball in her bucket of toys. That night was a nightmare of her life. When she was in deep sleep, she heard some voices of a child in her ears. She got up and there was no one in the room. She again slept, but after some time the same voice uttered some words and she found the red ball was on her bed. She thought she may have kept it on the bed by mistake, but the story did not end here. When she again tried to sleep, she felt that someone was lying next to her on her bed. She gathered her courage and strength and turned her face to see what was that. She literally shrieked as a mutilated body of a child was lying there. Blood was oozing out of his head. It was a boy of her age. She requested her to help him. She got freezed and was unable to move out of her bed. She closed her eyes out of fear. After a few seconds, she opened her eyes and found no one was there. Even her bed was clean. She pinched herself to feel that she was not dreaming. She did not tell this to her mother, thinking it to be a bad dream. This continued for many days. Her health started deteriorating. She looked pale and sick. During the day, she used to sleep all the time, but no one knew that she was encountered the presence of a dead child. She felt as if her body and mind was being controlled by the spirit of that boy. But now she was used to it. She did not harm her. He did not harm her. He used to play with her and requested her to help. She wanted to get rid of him, so she got ready. She wanted to know what had happened with him. The boy told that he was Ronak Gupta and was the only son of his parents. His parents were rich and well known in their locality. His father's business was at the peak and his competitors were jealous of him. One of his close uncles was also in the same business. He knew very well that his father has made his will in Ronak's name. He wanted his father to join hands with him as a partner, but his father was not interested. He belonged to Madhya Pradesh. One day when he had gone to school, he got the news that his parents died in a car accident. When he was left alone, his so-called uncle took charge of him and his father's business. He did not treat him well. He used to drink a lot and one day he was heavily drunk and said that he had killed his parents in so-called car accident and one day he would kill Ronak also to grab his property. Ronak heard this and got scared of him. One dark night he took Ronak for a long car drive on the pretext of buying some balls for him, and later he pushed him down from a hill. He died on the spot and no one could know who he was. Then the uncle moved to Jharkhand. As his last rites were not done, his spirit kept wandering. He wanted his uncle to be punished for his sins and his funeral rites to be performed. Ruku told him that even if she wanted, no one would believe this. Then he said that he could take her to her uncle's house and the body which was lying at a place. Then he said that he rests in the red ball with which she was playing. The reason was that on the pretext of buying this red ball, the uncle took him for a ride and ball was with him when he died. This house where Ruku's family was staying then belonged to uncle, and he had dumped the ball after his death in this fifth room. No one helped him. But when Ruku played with it, Ronak told that she could help him. Next morning, at the time of her breakfast, she told about Ronak to her parents. Her mother got scared and wanted to leave the house within a day. But Ruku requested her to encounter the presence of Ronak in the ball at night to believe in all this. That day her father did not go to office. He stayed with her. Around midnight, the ball jumped on her head. Ruku requested to make her parents know the truth. He became visible to them. Ruku's mother closed her eyes on seeing the boy's body. The boy told them his uncle's address. Ruku's father took help of the police to reopen the case of Ronak's death. First they laughed, but later they caught hold of his uncle at the given address. After the third-degree torture given to him, he opened his mouth and accepted that he had killed his parents and him. He also showed the place where he had dumped his body deep in the forest next to his house. When the body was recovered, the last rites were performed. The uncle was sent to jail for murder. That night, Ruku and her parents were sitting in that room and prayed for Ronak's peaceful departure for his heavenly abode. Ronak appeared at midnight and looked cheerful and happy. He said the final goodbye and thanked Ruku for her help. He gifted the red ball to her as a gift from his side. After this, he vanished and never returned. All lived there peacefully for next 2 years till the next posting of her father to Dehradun. I hope you liked the story. Please like, share and comment. Thank you.